Hello witches, I am High Priestess Autumn Phoenix. Thank you for joining me here live on either Instagram, Facebook, or YouTube. Go ahead and share this broadcast with a witch or two or three. Tell them that there is a high priestess here in New York who is anointed and appointed by the Queen of Witches Hecate to be a voice for witches who have ears to hear and hands to receive Hecate's best. For most of you, the story that I am about to tell, you already know about. But for you witches who are new to this page, this will be your first time hearing this story about my experience seeing the movie The Conjuring 2. The reason why I bring up the movie The Conjuring 2 is because the next one is about to come out or has already come out. It's like the final movie in the series of The Conjuring. So I want to share my experience going to see The Conjuring 2. That happened to me when it came out. So the morning that I was getting ready, I woke up late. That was probably the first sign that things were going to go very badly. I took the train. I went to the movie theater in Brooklyn, New York, that used to be on Barrow Hall, Court Street. That theater is not there anymore. But that's the theater that I went to, the theater on Court Street in Brooklyn, New York. I was taking the train. Now the trains in New York are kind of messy, kind of hit or miss, even though New York City has the MTA running 24/7 except for the LIRR or the Metro North or the train that goes to New Jersey or the trains that go out of the state. So here we go. The train is running slow. Unusually slow. I'm like, why is the train going so slow? This train is super slow. Even for the MTA, this train is going kind of slow. Like, damn, what's going on? And I have about 40 minutes before the movie starts. Now, when it comes to me, I love watching the previews. I love eating my snacks. So I make it to the theater, and since this movie, The Conjuring 2, is rated R, you have to show ID. So I have my ID, and the person behind the counter at the movie theater is giving me trouble about it. I don't know. She's trying to like verify my age. At the time, I was in my 20s. Like, oh my goodness, miss. That's my state ID. What's the problem? So she finally gives me my ticket, and I go online to get my snacks. And the line for the snacks is super, super long with teenagers that are supposed to be in school. So they skip school to watch The Conjuring 2, right? Right. So I'm like, oh my goodness, this movie is going to start without me. I love watching my previews. Now listen, I am a big fan of horror. That's my favorite genre, is horror. My favorite horror character is Freddy Krueger, the man with the claws. I love Freddy Krueger. We know as witches, we have to be careful. Now, I know more so than probably anybody. We as witches know we have to be careful about what we watch and listen to because it definitely influences us. It definitely has an effect on us. So because witches are much, 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 much more spiritual than anybody else, witches have to be extra careful of what they listen to and what they watch because it absolutely does influence us. It does, absolutely. And I learned this the hard way today when I went to see The Conjuring 2. So I have my movie ticket, I have my snacks, I go into the theater. The theater is cold. Of course it's cold. It has the air conditioning on. No, this movie theater was brick, like the kid says. It was freezing in that movie theater. Freezing. I was shivering. Even though I had on a light jacket, I was still freezing. It was unusually cold in there. So the movie is playing, the movie is starting, and the movie is scaring the shit out of me. I'm terrified. The movie is terrifying. The screams that I'm screaming are real screams. I'm actually horrified. I'm actually terrified. The scariest person in The Conjuring 2 was definitely that character called the Crooked Man and the nun That crooked man scared the shit out of me. He terrified me. I was like scared. I was watching that movie made me feel like I was in real physical danger. Like my life was in real physical danger. I have never screamed in a movie theater watching a horror film like that. Never. Never, ever, 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 ever. The movie is about 2 hours long. I'm just getting more and more upset, more and more disturbed. The movie is disturbing. The movie, The Conjuring 2, is deeply disturbing. I don't know what was going on in the director's mind when he or she created that movie, but he must have been under demonic influence or just plain demonically possessed. I love horror. I love horror. Even after watching this movie, I still love horror. But this movie almost took me out. I'm going to explain why. So the movie is over. After the movie is over, I feel sick. You know how people complain about feeling sick after watching the first Exorcist movie? You know how people complain about puking and barfing and feeling sick to their stomach after watching the movie The Exorcist when it first came out? That's how I was starting to feel after leaving the theater. I felt physically sick. I felt physically weak. My stomach was bothering me, but I did not I did not barf or throw up. But I'm feeling sick. And right before I leave the doors of the theater, I looked behind me and I noticed all of these children that was in the theater with me, watching what I was watching. They were terrified too. We were all in that theater, genuinely, sincerely, completely afraid for our very lives. So I leave the theater and I go home and I still feel horribly sick to my stomach. But I can't eat anything. I don't have an appetite, but my head is starting to feel fuzzy, cloudy. And something in my spirit is just disturbing me, bothering me badly, horribly, terribly. So I say to myself, you know what? Maybe I should take a nap, sleep it off. Maybe it will go away. So I take a nap. And I sleep for maybe 45 minutes or an hour. And then when I wake up, I see this figure over me in bed that has a hand like a claw of a dragon or, a lizard. It's a fucking claw, okay? And it has its hand over my face. And then it puts its hand over my face, slams my face into the pillow and starts to suffocate me. It was a physical hand, physical claw that I felt suffocating me, killing me. And I'm like shaking in bed trying to get this thing off of me. And all of a sudden, something else came over me and I felt this overwhelming feeling of love from the Queen of Witches, Hecate, pulled this demon off of me. It was trying to kill me. Whatever it was, whatever I brought home from watching The Conjuring 2 was actively, physically trying to kill me. Like I said a couple of moments ago, in the theater, it was very cold. Very, very cold. Ghosts, demons have to take the warmth from the area that they're in to manifest, to make their presence known. And my screaming in the theater, like I said, was real. I've never screamed in a theater like that since watching The Conjuring 2. Never. I felt, I can't stop saying it. I can't stop saying it. I felt like I was in physical danger. Like it was the feeling of fight or flight. That was the feeling that I had, fight or flight. But I couldn't move. I could not move. I had to sit there and watch the whole movie. And when I get home, I'm sick. I'm sicker than a dog when I get home. Sick, 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 sick. I can't keep anything down. I don't even want to try anymore to eat anything. I don't even want to try anymore to eat anything. And when I try to sleep it off, try to take a cat nap, this creature, this demon comes over me with his claw and tries to suffocate me. And Hecate, the queen of witches, has to pull it off of me. I was terrified. I have not seen that movie, The Conjuring 2, since. The only reason why I bring up this movie is because the final movie, the final installment of the series is coming out or has already come out. And I just want to give this warning, especially if you are a witch or anybody that is spiritually inclined. You have to be careful of what you listen to and what you watch. And do not ignore the signs. I ignored the problems that happened even before I went to the damn theater. I ignored the fact that the train was slow. I ignored that there was this problem with getting my tickets and getting my snacks at the theater. I ignored that the theater was unusually cold, freezing. But I couldn't leave though. I was like planted in my seat. I was planted in my seat. I could not just get up and walk away. I've never screamed like that before. I've never screamed like that in any haunted playhouse, any haunted hayride. Never before. But watching that movie terrified me. I have not watched that movie since. I will never watch that movie since. So you may be asking, since you had this experience with watching this horror movie, how can you say that horror is still your favorite genre? Because now I'm much more powerful. Now I can get up. Now I know how to fight the demonic. I know how to go up against the supernatural. Now I'm much stronger than I was when I first watched The Conjuring 2. I know I don't have to stay. I know that I'm much more powerful than I have ever been led to believe when I was a Christian. You can enjoy your favorite genre even if it's horror, if you know the power that you possess, that these things are underneath your feet, that you can leave, that you can be kind of the bigger person and fight back. Don't allow yourself to be a victim. Just understand that it is just a movie. It is just a TV show. But if you don't know you have this power, you will be trampled on. Absolutely, you will. That's why horror still remains my favorite genre. I like being scared. I don't like being attacked by a demon, but my favorite genre is horror. Now, you know, I am a Scorpio. Scorpios tend to be drawn to the occult, the paranormal, the supernatural, paganism, witchcraft. So that's just in my nature. That's just in my DNA. I can't help that. If you're a Scorpio, you know. If you're a Scorpio, you know. So just be careful of what you listen to and what you watch. And know how powerful you are. If you are a witch, you are a powerhouse. You don't have to stay. You can say at any time, you know what? I'm not feeling this. You know what? I don't like this. I don't like this because it makes me feel uncomfortable. You can leave at any time. So that's my story. Once again, for those witches who are here that are new to my page on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube about my experience when I saw the movie The Conjuring 2. Once again, my name is High Priestess Autumn Phoenix. Be sure, if you have not already done so, be sure to share this broadcast with a witch or two or three and tell them that there is a witch here in New York who is anointed and appointed by the Queen of Witches Hecate to be a voice for witches who have ears to hear and hands to receive Hecate's best. Thank you, witches, for joining me on this pop-up live, and I will speak to you witches later. Bye, everyone.